Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Zach D Productions here, and I am here for a ranking video for you guys. So for this ranking, I'll be ranking the closing tracks from Metallica from worst to best, based on my opinion, of course. Yeah, Metallica, they usually do know how to end their albums on a pretty strong note. Some of them, not so much. But we'll be going over those, of course. And I do know that I did do a ranking for Metallica's opening tracks, so I figured why not do one for their closing tracks. And for this ranking, we're just going to go over the main albums, so that means no EPs, covers albums, compilations, live albums, or anything like that. Just the main albums by Metallica. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, for my least favorite closing track from these guys, it's got to be the one from Saint Anger, and the song is called All Within My Hands. This song is kind of a guilty pleasure, to be honest. I do think the song is kind of funny to listen to. There are some funny moments to this song, especially when James repeats the line, kill, 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 just repeatedly. That part in particular is pretty funny. So if you are someone who, for whatever reason, wants to listen to Metallica for the laughs, check out that song. In fact, check out the whole Saint Anger album. You'll, without a doubt, get a few laughs with some of the moments in this album. I could definitely think of a few moments, but yeah. Obviously, the drum sound, just terrible, but yeah, All Within My Hands. Even though it's a funny song, it's still technically not a good song, but it's listenable anyways, so yeah. It's got to be the weakest closing track from this band, at least when it comes to the main albums. So next we have the closing track from this album, Reload. The song is called Fixer. This song, I think, is okay. It probably is one of the better songs on the album, but I don't really think to return to it very much. Yeah, it's kind of different for the band as well as the rest of the album, of course, but yeah, there's not really much to say about this one. So next we have the closing track to Load, the Outlaw Torn. Probably one of the better songs on Load. Maybe one of the best songs on the album, actually. I'm not sure. It's just a pretty good hard rock song, I think. Has some pretty good vocals from James. But yeah, not too bad, actually. Next we have the closing track from Death Magnetic, My Apocalypse. I actually think this is a pretty good song. Now, is it one of the best songs on the album? I'm not sure. If it's not, it's at least an honorable mention. I do think it's a pretty good one, though. I like the riffing in it. James doesn't sound too bad in this song. Yeah, and I think it's one of the heavier songs on the album, too, so. My Apocalypse. Next, we have the closing track from their debut, Kill 'Em All, Metal Militia. Some people might have this song a little bit higher, but the reason that this song is, I guess, closer to the middle for me is mainly just due to replay value and just how memorable it is. I don't think it's as memorable as the rest of the songs on the album and the other closing tracks that are ahead of this. But it's still a pretty good song for what it is, for sure. I mean, obviously it's got some good riffs and things like that, but yeah. Pretty good song for what it is. So next we have the closing track to their latest album, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, Spit Out the Bone. Definitely one of the best songs on the album, and I think many fans can agree with me on that. It might even be the best song on the album. I just really like how fast-paced this song is and how full of energy this song is. The riff work and everything about it is just fantastic. So, Spit Out the Bone. Next, we have the closing track to Ride the Lightning, which is actually my favorite Metallica album. The Call of Cthulhu is the closing track to this one, and it's an instrumental as well. Pretty good instrumental from the band. Definitely one of their best instrumentals. I don't think it's as good as Orion, but I still think it's pretty good, though, for what it is. Now, if Creeping Death was the last song on the album, this would have been at the top of the ranking, but because it's not, it's got to be here in the ranking. But Call of Cthulhu, really good instrumental, of course. really good riff work, and it really does showcase the talent in these guys. So next, I'm going to have to go with the closing track to Master of Puppets, Damage Inc. Pretty good song. Not one of my favorites from the album, but I do like it though. Obviously, it's a classic song, and you can't go wrong with it. Really great riff work and everything like that. Yeah, definitely a great song. But again, it's not one of my favorites on the album, but I do think it's one of the best closing tracks from Metallica. Now, this next one here might be a rather unpopular opinion. I'm not sure. Some people might have this song ranked a lot lower, but that's all right. But next, I'm going to have to go with the closing track from the Black Album, The Struggle Within. Very underrated song, in my opinion. It might even be one of my favorites from this album, and the riff work especially is something that really stands out to me, and James, he sounds pretty good in this song. I mean, as well as the other musicians, the rest of the guys do a fantastic job here in this song, but yeah, it's one of the heavier tracks on the album as well, and that is one thing that I did notice, is Metallica typically does like to end their albums with something a little heavier. Sometimes, of course, but yeah, The Struggle Within, great song in my opinion. So, my favorite closing track from Metallica, or what I would consider the best closing track from this band. Of course, you probably already know what it is at this point. It's from the album And Justice for All, and the song is Dyer's Eve. If you like your metal, just metal, you're gonna like this song. Again, it's full of energy, pretty heavy song. I mean, the musicians in this band, they do a fantastic job at everything that they do in this song. And it really is just fantastic, and for a while I've often considered it the best closing track from these guys. So Dyer's Eve is, in my opinion, their best closing track. Well, there you have it. That's my ranking of Metallica's closing tracks, so let me know what you guys think. How would you rank the closing tracks from this band? Feel free to let me know. So what did you think of this ranking? So on that note, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and take care.